Time again for another installment of The Basics, and on today's show I'm going to answer another question that people have had for me, and it is about how to trade properly with CCGs, and I'm going to explain this using something from the olden days of CCGs that is still applicable today. So let's get started and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now, anyone that trades CCGs, either with their friends or if you do it at a swap meet or if you trade after a couple games at a tournament out in the hallway, you normally go commons for commons, uncommons for uncommons, rare for rares, or you might put together package deals for whoever you're trading with. And you always have to keep in mind the value of the card. You have to know which card is common, uncommon, rare, ultra rare, etc., etc. The problem is, even though the internet is a great resource for card values, there are a lot of people that inflate card values. You don't always get the full story. Now, if you happen to be playing an older CCG, like the Star Trek CCG or Star Wars CCG or X-Files, or if you are trading in Magic up to, say, about 10th edition, I always recommend going back to your old Scrye magazines. If you are lucky enough to have a few, these are a great resource. Yes, they're outdated, and yes, they are printed price lists from many years ago, but one of the nice things about Scrye is if you go through the listings, they're not just about the card value at that time. They tell you the rarity, the class, and the type of card, depending on the game. As you see here for Magic. For the Star Trek card game, it shows you the same thing in a different way, and if you know these codes in and out like I do, it becomes very easy to track a value or a rarity of a card. And this comes in handy even now when you're trading. You don't get all this information in one spot. You might find websites, I've actually been on a few like Wixaban and Magic Dialogue, where they show you the rarities card per card after they show you the card list. But in the old Scrye magazines and even Inquest to a certain degree, before they went all Magic specific, you get all that information on the page in one line. It's very convenient, and it gives you the card name as well and the set and all that. I know in the age of the internet and technology we can just pick up a tablet or go on our laptops and find out, but you just can't beat a paper copy of Scrye magazine. They still come in handy to this day. And I've mentioned on a previous episode on the deck building aspect and some of the great articles that still hold up today about CCGs. If you don't have a Scrye, go on eBay and get yourself a back copy before they get too expensive. Use it as a resource, not as something that has already had its time passed. As an addendum, I'd also like to mention that fair trades are the way to go. Like I said, common for common, uncommon for uncommon, rare for rare, what have you. Also, if someone needs a specific card and you happen to have several of them and you're not using some, you could let it go for a bit less. We don't all have to be misers with our CCG cards. I've done it time and again where I've had, say, 6 or 7 copies of a rare at one point, which I did, and I got rid of 1 or 2 to someone who needed it. And they gave me some decent uncommons and even some commons that I wanted at the time. And they got the rare that they so desired. So, you know, keep it simple. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.